Chapter 10. 5 days went by since our Friday night loss. In those 5 days, I still haven't spoken to Chase. This drove me wild, especially since I hadn't received many updates on him. All I've heard, and this came from his mother, was that he felt better. Now, what exactly does that mean? I wanted to see my friend, not receive some general answer to keep me away. Oh well, I have to continue to live my life. 2 days away from our next game, this time a home game, and I wanted to redeem myself. We would play Cool Creek High, home of the Bass. Yes, another school team named after a fish. I wanted to win so badly. This game I would dedicate to Chase. I've dedicated every other game to my father. After school, I walked out of the building to find my mom standing by her car, parked alongside the curb. Mom, what are you doing here? I'm here to take you to the hospital. Your friend Chase wants to see you. I'm allowed to see him now? My mother nodded. I ran to her. Yes, let's go. Is he okay? Do you know anything? I asked. My mother opened her door and sat down in the car. I sat down in the passenger seat. No, they didn't tell me much. Just said that he would like to see his best friend. Best friend? Chase considers me his best friend, as I do him? I thought, staring at the car's clock. Let's go, Mom. I want to see my best friend. Casually, I walked up to the hospital. Once the doors opened, I ran as fast as I could to the receptionist's desk. Hey, hi. What room is Chase Anderson in? The receptionist, who sat behind the desk reading a book, lowered the book. What is your relationship to the patient? I'm his best friend. He's expecting me. The receptionist picked up the phone and spun around in her chair. Less than a minute on the phone, she spun back around, hanging up the phone. Okay, you may see him. He's in room 226. Go past my desk and the elevators will be on your left. Go to floor 2 and follow the signs. I smiled and nodded. Thank you. Now, I didn't want to run. I figured getting thrown out of the hospital may not be the best thing right now. So I power-walked down to the elevators. I clicked the button. It opened. Inside the elevator, I saw a familiar face. No way! It can't be. Yo! Oh my God! Andy! How you been? This shocked me. I couldn't believe who stood in front of me. Inside the elevator stood none other than DeAndre Williams. I'm doing okay. How have you been? The elevator door shut behind me. It then hit me. If DeAndre is back in the hospital, does that mean that my father's kidney, his kidney, has failed? You okay, bud? What floor are you headed to? DeAndre asked. My head jumped. I snapped back into reality. Floor 2. I'm going to floor 2. DeAndre smiled. He pressed the button with the number 2 on it. Why are you back in the hospital? I asked. Please don't tell me the kidney you got from my dad failed. This made DeAndre laugh. His right hand raised in the air, he pointed downward, and I followed his finger to discover a cleaning cart. After my surgery and my recovery, I felt great. Now, I still need to come in 3 days a week to get checked, but that still wasn't enough. This hospital saved my life. I shot DeAndre a look. He noticed. Oh, Andy, the hospital wasn't the only thing that saved my life. I owe everything to your father. Again, without his kidney, I'd still be waiting around, if I was lucky enough to be alive. DeAndre's impression changed to sorrow. I truly am sorry about your dad, but I'm grateful for the gift he gave me. Your dad is my hero. A loud ding rang behind me and the door opened. We reached floor 2. I stepped 1 foot out of the elevator and stopped. It's okay, man. Of course, I'm sad I lost my father, but you're a good dude. I'm glad he can help you. DeAndre reached out and gave me a hug. I still stood in the elevator doorway, preventing the door from closing. After a hug, I asked a question. So you work here now? Yeah. When I got better, I saw a job posting for a custodian. This excited me, especially since I hadn't been able to work for a while. And the doctor said I could do this job since it wasn't too physical. DeAndre picked up a bottle of cleaning spray. He chuckled while looking over the label. I applied and I got the job. It's not that bad, but I'm also going to school part-time. Oh yeah? What are you going to school for? DeAndre smiled. I'm going to be a dialysis technician. Wow, I gasped. That's you helping the people on those kidney machines, right? DeAndre chuckled. That's right. I help the patients with their dialysis machines. Set it up, hook them to it, and just do whatever I can to help them be comfortable. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. A small tear appeared in DeAndre's eyes. Yeah, those technicians helped me a lot. They made my time stuck to that machine a lot better than it could have been. I want to do the same for others. Footsteps rang out from behind me. My head snapped around to find a nurse approaching. She stopped in front of the elevator, scanning over the situation. May I ride the elevator? The nurse asked. I stepped aside. Yeah, of course. Sorry. The nurse smiled. No worries. DeAndre called out to me. Yo, it was great seeing you, Andy. I'll see you again soon. Take care now, man. You too, I said, examining the elevator doors as they closed. It felt great seeing DeAndre. Knowing that the kidney he received from my father still worked to perfection made me happy. Now that I made it to the second floor, my focus shifted back to finding Chase's room. Directly in front of me on the wall were plates with room numbers and arrows. The plate had 222 to 242 and an arrow pointing to the right. I needed to find room 226, so to the right I went. It didn't take long for me to find the room I wanted. The door sat open and I peeked inside. A curtain covered half the room. I could see the end of a bed. The room was quiet. I wondered if Chase was still here. After a deep breath, I knocked on the door. A familiar voice called out to me. Come in? Now this voice sounded familiar, yet it also sounded weaker than normal. This voice no doubt belonged to Chase. Hey, buddy, it's me, Andy. Hey, Andy, come on in. How are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm concerned with how you are doing. Chase laughed, but his laughter got cut short by a few coughs. As I reached the curtain, Chase asked me for a favor. Say, Andy, can you pull the curtain back for me? Sure thing. My hands gripped the maroon-colored curtain. I pulled it back to discover Chase sitting up in his bed, an IV attached to his arm. Thanks, Andy. Next to the bed near the dresser was a chair. I sat down on the chair, observing my friend. What's that look for? Chase asked. I rubbed my fingers over my eyes. Are you okay, man? Please tell me you're not going to die. Chase laughed and grabbed the cup he had sitting on the table. He reached into the cup and pulled out an ice cube. I'm okay. It should be good. Chase tossed the ice cube in his mouth. Geesh, I hope so. It doesn't look like you're doing too good. Chase tossed another ice cube in his mouth. My kidneys started to give up on me. I mean, they weren't working so good to begin with, but they shut down even more, so now I'm here. Another ice cube flew into Chase's mouth. Say, Chase, you sure like ice cubes, don't you? Chase tossed the next ice cube up in the air. He opened his mouth to catch it. He missed. Yeah, I don't know why, but ever since my kidneys failed, I get these cravings to eat ice. And when I eat ice, it makes me feel better. Oh, I see. 3 knocks at the door startled me. The sound of a cart rolling over the floor could be heard. I pulled around in my chair to see a middle-aged man pushing a large machine on wheels. Hello, Chase. My name is Maury, and I will be your renal technician for this evening. Renal technician? I guess this is the job that DeAndre wants to do. Hi, Maury. Sounds good. Chase turned his head to face me. I have to be hooked up for my dialysis treatment right now, but you can stay if you want. No biggie. I watched as Maury messed around with the machine, pulling out a bunch of tubes. Yeah, I'll stay, unless you want me to leave. Chase tossed another ice cube in his mouth. No, it's really okay. You can stay. If you don't mind watching me get stuck with a bunch of needles. I smiled and shook my head no, as to mean I didn't mind, but I wasn't sure. The sight of seeing my best friend being poked might not be too fun. But I didn't come all this way just to bail now. Nah, I would stay. Okay, awesome, Chase said. He threw another ice cube in his mouth and gave me a look. Say, Andy, do you want a soda or something? I can call the nurse to get you one. I licked my lips. My mouth was dry. Yeah, sure. I'll take a root beer. I smiled, and Chase smiled too. Hooked on the side railing of Chase's bed looked to be a remote of some sorts. A bunch of numbered buttons were on the remote, all blue. At the very top, I noticed a bright yellow button with a picture that appeared to have a face with lines shooting out the mouth. Chase hit the button and a voice came through.
Hello, Chase. Do you need something?
Yes, I do. Can I get a refill of ice, please? And may I get a root beer for my visitor? The voice, which sounded like a woman in her early 20s, answered once more.
Yes, I can bring them. No problem.
Chase glanced over and shot me a smile. See? They treat me like a king over here. I can get whatever I want, whenever I want. It's great. A beeping noise caught my attention. I glanced over at the dialysis machine. Okay, Chase. You will feel 2 little pinches, Maury said. No problem, Maury. I've been through this dance plenty of times. Maury swabbed Chase's arm. He then grabbed one tube. A sharp needle stuck out of the end of the tube. I observed this man, who shared a name with the famous talk show host, prick at my friend's arm. Ugh, Chase moaned. Blood sprayed out of my friend's arm. This made me panic. What in the world? What's happening? Maury smacked his lips together. Darn it. I missed. Sorry, Chase. He grabbed a towel and pressed it against Chase's arm. This made Chase moan again. I suddenly felt anger, even though Maury didn't try to hurt my friend. It still made me mad to see he did. No worries. It's happened before, and it will happen again, Chase said while wincing in pain. After getting the bleeding to stop, Maury attempted the sticking again. Ah, there we go, Maury said. The tube immediately started to fill up with blood. I sat still in amazement. Okay, last one, Chase, Maury said while picking up a second tube with a needle at the end. Chase nodded and winced once more as the second needle entered his arm. With both needles in Chase's arm, Maury placed tape against the tubes. He wiped his hands together. All right, you're good to go, Chase. The machine will monitor the pressure of your blood flowing through the tubes. If anything goes wrong, like your blood clotting, an alarm will go off and you can ring your nurse. They will call me and I'll give you some heparin to fix it. I kept quiet, watching the machine, looking at the needle in my friend's arm, taking in everything that Maury said. It was a lot for anyone, especially a kid, to go through. After getting everything right, Maury left. The nurse brought Chase his ice, and she brought my root beer. It came in a small can, generic brand, but hey, I couldn't complain about a free soda. I sipped on my soda, following the blood as it flowed through the tubes. What does this machine do exactly? Chase, who crunched down a big ice cube, wiped his mouth and glared at the tubes. Well, one tube, Chase flicked the tube that was closer to me, takes the blood out from my body. The blood goes into the machine and the fluid called dialysate helps remove unwanted waste. It also helps get my electrolytes and minerals to their proper levels. I sat up in my chair, focusing on Chase and the machine. Chase continued. So this machine does what your kidneys do for you. It's what my kidneys no longer do for me, since they stopped working. It really sucks, but to be honest, if I want to live, I need to do it. This touched me deeply. I couldn't say anything for the next 10 minutes. Chase turned on the TV and found some sports show. The show talked about football, and this excited Chase. I stayed for another hour, finally being able to talk again. We talked a lot about football. I told him how the team wanted him back on the sidelines during games. We also talked about life, and how crazy it can be. Just when I thought I had it rough, I found someone who's been dealt a tough hand as well. Maury re-entered the room to end Chase's treatment just as I was leaving. As I walked out of the room, I heard Chase moan in pain. I believe it was from Maury pulling the needles back out, and sadness re-entered my mind. Chase didn't deserve to live like this. He told me he goes through his dialysis treatments 3 times a week. Each treatment would last for about 4 hours. Nobody should have to live like this, definitely no kid, and certainly not my best friend.